Hey everybody, this is Richard with the Hunter-Gatherer Society, and I am getting ready to do another harvest on our microgreens. We're going to do the third harvest on the same pea shoots that we've harvested prior, and I am really excited about how they turned out. For a third harvest, this is the best I've ever seen. And I've done quite a few pea shoot microgreens over the years. This one just turned out fabulous. I'm also going to harvest some kale. We did the patio garden a few months ago, and everything on the garden is edible. So you can go out and you pick pretty much off every plant. Really, you can pick off every plant. The leaves are edible, the fruits are edible. In a lot of cases, the roots and seeds are edible. And so that was one of the goals: is we want to maximize space and make sure everything is edible, so that you can just pick it, put it in a salad, put it on a taco, saute it up. I use them heavily. Well, as a family, we use them for smoothies, we use them for salads, tacos. I chop them up and put them in hash browns in the morning to add a little extra green. So there's a lot of things we do with the greens. The problem with space in greens is that it takes a lot of greens when you fill a pan and cook that. Let's say, for example, spinach. You start with a full pan, and by the time you're done, you've got enough for one person. And so it takes a lot of greens to produce a meal, unless you're just mixing it into potatoes or something else for a little bit of nutritional value. So, although the patio garden does produce greens, it doesn't produce the volumes of it to supplement what we use in smoothies and things like that. So that's really where the microgreens, we started that a few weeks ago, and I'll give you kind of an update here. I'll show you a couple of our projects. I'm trying currently pea shoots, sunflower shoots, kale, which is relatively new to me, and then mixed salad greens, which I haven't really done before. The mixed salad greens are still growing. I'm not really happy with them. The kale is turning out really well. I'm having a small problem with when it grows, it tangles amongst itself, and then it doesn't grow up, it grows down. I'm not getting mold or anything like that. It's just that it's not a nice full canopy. So I still got some work and learning to do on that, but I'll show you what we do have so far. So one of the things I'm doing too is adding it into the house. Not sure if the chief of staff is fond of that yet. That's still to be determined. But these are pea shoots. And so at a thrift store, I found a little decorative bowl. These are just a few days old. I mean, they're less than a week old. And they are doing really, really well. You could harvest these right now. They taste amazing. They've got just a great sweet pea flavor, or you could let them leaf out a little bit. But I mean, they are ready now. And I think they look really nice, especially again in the decorative bowl. This one is not as creative, but I wanted to do some sunflower shoots. And so I started these. This is just a leftover container that I washed out. It was probably lunch meat or something, I don't even know. But I try to reuse these. They make nice little greenhouses. They make great little microgreen containers for smaller scale. But again, you can see, I don't know if you can see how thick that is. That's actually a lot of sunflowers. And sunflowers are one of my favorite. They're super crispy. They've got great nutty flavor, super high nutrition. They're easy to grow. The only thing I don't like about them is the seed hulls are difficult to get off. Now, if you grow these in trays, you'd put weight down on top of them, and that would help shed some of these hulls. When you do them loose like this, they don't shed them as easily. So we go through every day and just kind of brush them, knock a few off, and as they open up, you can see they'll come off as well. But these are one of my favorites. Really excited about these, and I am going to do full trays. I just wanted to try something in the house. So this is my kale. This I'm going to harvest now. The wife has already taken a little bit off for the morning smoothies. It's hard to see in the video, I'm sure, but you can see here where we've harvested, but some of this is laying down, like you can pull this out. So it grew this way. And so I'm still working on that, but this is really nice. It's got some of its first leaves on it. It's got a real nice, mild flavor, almost a little salty hint to it. It's kind of interesting now that it has its true leaves. But this we use a lot of this. So this is for smoothies, tacos, salads. It's just a great microgreen, super nutritious. And again, I want to work on getting a better harvest off these trays. So we'll see what comes in future. Peas, of course, one of my favorites. If you want to grow microgreens and you want something easy, you want something that produces a lot of greens, has a great flavor that even kids would like, I just think microgreens or the pea shoots are fabulous. So if you followed a couple of the earlier patio garden videos, I gave and there's actually a harvest video on these. I've harvested these 2 times already. So I've already taken about a pound of pea shoots off of this one tray. And this is the 3rd tray. Yeah, I am back here. This is fabulous. I mean, it is so thick and so full. I'll tip it up for you. These shoots, they have little tendrils on them, which is, they're bouncy. My daughter thinks it's kind of funny that they bounce. They're soft. You know, a lot of times when you do a 3rd harvest on pea shoots, these are going to, they're going to toughen up. You can even see I've actually, I don't know, it was on the other side, I've actually harvested some of this already. So this has already been, some of it's been cut out already. And I just cut it right out of the tray. I used it for, I think it was for breakfast, put it in some hash browns, and I just chop it up and mix it in. But this has little tendrils on it. It's just absolutely fabulous. So I'm so excited about that. That's 3 growths. So that's, I'm not sure, I would wager there's probably another half a pound, maybe so, 1.5 pounds, somewhere between 1.5 pounds and 2 pounds of shoots, I'm thinking, is what I'll end up getting off of this one tray. And that is awesome, because when you break down the cost of, you know, pea seeds are cheap anyway. Even the organic ones are very reasonable. If you can get 3 trays off of every batch of seeds, it just makes it super cheap to grow these. They're super tasty, high nutrition, and, you know, versus something like this where I'm struggling, you know, to get it, and then I will only get 1 growth out of the kale. So I am just super happy with these pea shoots. And if we take these and just grab onto them, let me cut a little bit out of here. I'm going to go a little lower than I have been, because again, I don't expect this to grow back a 4th time. 3 times, I believe, will be the charm. These are just a great length, great coloring on them. They've got little tendrils on the end, which isn't real relevant to me, but I know that chefs really like the tendrils on these. Looking for my bowl here. There we go. And so they really like the tendrils. Not sure why, if it just makes it, you know, appealing to look at or something different, but I just know that that's something they like. So when you're harvesting these, remember, you know, take your time with them. A lot of people use a sharp knife. I don't have a good knife that works for this because most of my knives aren't flat enough for it. I like to get tangled in each other as well. And, you know, so I just grab a handful of them. I'm using a little shear. Scissors work really well also, but this is my Saturday afternoon project, so I'm not really in a hurry, so I don't need it to go super fast. All right, guys, so I am harvesting the rest of these peas, so getting back to it. I am at a point now where I'm kind of in the center and I wanted to sample these. Because again, 3rd harvest, typically a little bit not as tender, not as soft. Still good though. But I would say this one is definitely less of a sweet pea flavor, a little more green, not bitter or anything, just a little more green, and definitely a little tougher than the first. So this is going to be a really good one for smoothies. So I'll probably chop this up a little finer, and that can be added, like I said, to hash browns, smoothies, something that you're seasoning or flavoring, and it'll be a great nutritional powerhouse. But again, not bad, a little bit more tough, and not quite as, these are the young ones, and if I take one of these, great news is they'll grow a couple times. Super sweet, super tender, so definitely a difference. So I am thinking that this kale doesn't grow real tall. I could be wrong, so again, I gotta do some more experimenting with it, but I'm just thinking that because it does have, like I said, if you look at some of this, let me cut one out of here. This has already got its true leaves on it. So maybe it doesn't get a lot taller, but I'll do more experimenting with that and we'll bring you back. So That's the update I have on the microgreens. Coming along really well, really happy with it. It's a great way to get higher volume greens in a confined space. Because again, these peas were started out in the garage, in dark for several days, and then I just put them out on the patio, and they sit and they grow right there in the sun. They love the sun. Same with this. It started out in dark for a few days. I set it outside, just right out in front of the door on the patio, tucked it up against the railing, and they grew very well. I do have some that go underneath the grow light. That works as well. So, but you don't need a grow light. Really, you don't even need a tray. So if you want to start on a nickel and dime budget, just take a bowl that you have, a plastic container that you have, recycle. You don't want it real tall, so this is perfect like this, and just a little potting soil, a few seeds, and you've got nice nutritional greens that you can cut, and the kids think it's awesome. So that's what I've got. Again, Richard with the Hunter Gatherers Society. Thanks for joining me, and I will give you an update as we keep moving forward on this. It's still 107 degrees, so I'm not doing a whole lot of foraging outside right now, or fishing, but the temperature is coming back down now, so hopefully we'll get out and we'll put a few fish on the fishing pole and into the frying pan with these greens. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.